Happy birthday, David! Hey, man,
Let's
it's
go.
your birthday every day, bro. It's your birthday every day.
It is. It is. Well, I like to celebrate every day. Didn't everybody like to celebrate every day?
We should. I think every day should be a birthday. Every day,
I think there's a song, Celebrate Every Day, like it's your birthday.
There we go. There we go.
Hey,
Jennifer
Miguel,
Cohen's
right?
in the
I think it's
house.
Miguel.
What's up, Jennifer? What's up, Mary Lee? How you doing, my friend?
Mary Lee in the house. Dude, she travels everywhere.
Dude,
Every time I look on my social, Mary Lee's in a different part of the country.
I don't think she has a house, bro. I think she just stays with friends.
I think they gave her an office at UWM.
I think they probably did. They probably did. If anybody
That's
could
the
get
rumor.
one,
He's
Tell
on
me
the
to buy a
board.
house in
rumor.
Florida and buy a house in Michigan, and I'm like, why?
why? Like, I got friends. I got friends in hot places.
I have friends.
Yeah.
He's on the board.
Right. Martine, what's up, buddy? I got to talk to you, bro. I'm going to call you after. I got some good news. I got some great news.
Awesome.
You're going to love.
Are you talking about our news, Scotty?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, Martine. Hey, only if you want to make a bunch more money, Martine. That's it.
I'm not sure about that.
If you're making too much, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I like rates that are 1.5 lower than what they're supposed to be.
Hey,
like,
could you sell any more homes, Martine? If you could give 1.5 lower, nobody pays the buy down. We just have it.
We'll see.
Okay, all right. If you can't, you're not selling. You're not selling. All right, welcome everybody to the MLO Live Show. We're going to talk about objections today. Who's ready? Anybody have?
Let's get ready to rumble.
All right, what's the number one objection for borrowers right now? Anybody want to start?
Affordability. Affordability.
Affordability. I love it. Okay. All right. So it's
He's
not
down in
about the
South
rate.
Florida. So, yeah, I mean, that's, Miami area.
Yeah.
That's a real problem out there.
It is a real problem. Yes.
Yep.
So how are you overcoming that, Raphael?
Well, what I'm trying to do is educate clients, okay, that continue renting is not the best business that they can be in. They losing appreciation. They losing, reduction on the mortgage. So they actually losing because they cannot write off that rent. They cannot write off the interest rate that they paying. So they making the landlord richer. So I do an education presentation from some buyers when that is a very sticking point that I call it. How can you afford? Payment shock, because they coming. This is a real scenario. It's a couple making about $200,000 in the household. Yeah, paying $3,500 on rent. They wanted to buy the house that they're renting. The payment came back to be $6,200.
60. Oh,
they
double.
Got payment
Okay.
shock.
So
they got payment shock.
Got it.
Okay. I tried to explain all these benefits, and it's still they decided, to find another rent because they think, though their expectation is that at some point house will come down. And what I'm trying to sell is at some point your income will increase, and the burden would not be that great. You just need to plan. You either buy it now, or you're still gonna buy it later, or you're never gonna be able to afford it. Yeah. Because if Miami turns to be in New York with the same income that we have here, that is not growing as the speed that needs to be to catch up with the mortgages, you're not gonna be able to buy Miami. You might need to end up moving out of Miami area. Yeah. So we are in that conversation. Got it. I'm open to hear other people's opinion because this is how we grow. But that's how I handle it.
And Scott, one thing he didn't talk about is he has a presentation for the buyers, but he actually has one for the realtors too. And he's been going around doing realtor classes on, home affordability and, how to have that communication with the agent or with the clients to help them understand what the market's doing and effectively, renting is not the right solution for long-term equity gain. So gotcha. I know he's done a lot of that as well. Okay. Good stuff. No, and man, it's affordability is one thing that you're just not going to overcome. If they can't afford it, they can't afford it, and maybe they need, that's. You're not going to talk them into, oh, hey, you're going to gain on appreciation. Well, you're going to lose the house. Because
You can't.
But
you can't
he
do
did
it,
mention something, and this is 100% accurate. There's other parts of Florida that are
100%,
affordable,
1000%.
right? You know,
That's what I was gonna
Marilyn
say.
knows this because she's right in that Orlando
Yeah.
area with Empire.
Yeah.
You're there all the time. You know you are. But you know, right around those areas, they've got all kinds of homes that are affordable. So one of those conversations is, hey, you may want to think about moving up north a little bit, you know, and I know that's a big shocker for people. But if they want to be a homeowner, there are affordable homes in Florida. 100%. They're just not so much in Miami.
The ocean. You got to get away from the ocean.
Scott,
yeah.
When I'm talking to those people, they do qualify.
Okay.
It's just just a psychological effect. You know, that, oh my God, this is too much.
Yeah.
But you're making the money. You have the income. Otherwise, you will not be able to get a DU approval.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's just a matter of getting themselves educated and reorganize their priority because they want to buy the house, but they want to keep spending all the money, dining out almost every day of the week. So that's when your priorities is out of order, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to continue that life. I agree with you. That's beautiful. You don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. You don't have to do any of that. But then you have to double your income. Let's talk about it. How can you double your income in the next 6 months? Okay. And that's part of the conversation that I'm having with them because it's all about education, you know? Now, I'll tell you one thing. There's one that is coming that we had similar conversation 2 years ago. And what did she do? She got a second job. And now we're going to have 24 months of having a second job, which I can use that income now.
Yeah.
So
good.
It is difficult here. But again, you know, it is difficult and it's not. It's just a mental game because a lot of people selling a lot of houses, a lot of people doing a lot of mortgages here in South Florida. I'm not talking about millions of dollars in mortgages. I'm talking about people doing a lot of units, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. So affordability is so I think like Devin, I can't agree more. Like Miami is not the cheapest. In fact, it's probably one of the top 5
and it's getting more
worse.
expensive.
Getting worse. Yeah. Especially with rates and stuff like that. So
hey, I have a funny story, not funny, but a similar story to what Rafael was talking about. I had a young couple come in. They had a small child and the wife was pregnant, and they came in wanting to see, you know, if they could qualify. Well, I could get him qualified. When he found out that the payment was going to be like $1,800 a month, he's like, oh, no, that's too much, because he wanted roughly what he was paying in rent. But when I looked at his credit, he was paying $1,200 for this fancy truck that he had parked out there. And I mean, I probably responded the wrong way, but I said, you're spending $1,200 to drive that fancy truck, but you won't spend $1,800 to have a roof over your head for your kids and build wealth. You know, anyway, they ended up not buying a house. They stayed in a 1-bedroom apartment with, you know, 1.5 kids.
Yeah.
I was just stunned. You know, it's sometimes affordability, you know, you're willing to spend that kind of money on a truck that's losing value, but you're not willing to spend it on a house that's going to increase in value.
Truck makes them feel good though, baby. Truck
there's my rant for the day.
That's a
that
private.
happens all over Miami. You drive down the street, you'll see a little tiny house with a huge boat, or you know, the $120,000 truck with all the big wheels and stuff. Where you're like, what is it? You know, and they're renting.
Yeah.
So I think I've run into this for years, and probably about 4 years ago, I just started changing my conversation. So I meet with every buyer, and I completely went to just listening to what they're trying to accomplish, more so than my pre-qualification and the box that I've already kind of structured their deal on. And once I got to that point, my conversations are a lot less salesy, and I'm just talking. We're just conversating about life and whatever. And through that conversation, I say the same things, Marilee. I literally tell them, like, hey, you're driving your house right now. Like that, as soon as you realize that you stop, you know, that it's going to be more important for you. It's going to be, you know, you have to sacrifice something. So from what I'm seeing right now, it looks like you're going to have to adjust some of your debt, and I really focus on, you make great money. And a lot of people in a situation when you're making this much money, like really like pump them up and gas them up on their income, and then let them know, like, hey, I've seen people with your income already own multiple homes and just kind of do away with buying multiple cars.
Yeah.
And that really changes like their wealth for yourself, your kids, and then just future habits for your kids and your family. And it goes a long way to try to, educate. Usually for me, it's other minorities. So it really helps, but it crosses anybody, from color lines to just poverty, right?
Yeah.
You're not educated in income and how to spend it and how to, you utilize your credit or even run a business correctly. So for me, it just changed to listening and then just trying to restructure my words on more about like, hey, if it's a priority, this is what you can do. If you need to work on it for 6 months, a year, we can make that work, but let's get on a plan. And then I just set them up on my CRM, and then every, depending on where I feel like they're at, I gauge it. And then I just set them up on, hey, I'm going to, call you in, 3 weeks, and then just kind of see where you're at so we can figure out how we're going to, get you into a home.
Yeah.
And then I just set them up over and over again.
Let them think about it.
Yeah, but then I set appointments on my calendar, and all it is an appointment from 2 years ago that says like, hey, how are we doing? I know we were looking at this. Did that car get paid off? And then I'll look at the credit and I'll be like, okay, I'm looking at this, $1,200, car note that needs to get, removed, or did they go renew it and buy another car, trade it in? And then those touches sometimes turn into deals. Sometimes it's just more conversations. But most of the time, at the beginning of the year, normally around tax season, it yields me probably about another 5 deals a year.
Love it.
Just because I put them on the calendar from previous
and have a conversation, didn't sell the crap out of them to try to push them into a home. I don't stress the sale or the importance of buying a home. Yeah.
I just let them know that it's an opportunity that they can afford. When do you want to do it? And let's start talking about it. And they end up, for the most part, I rarely lose those people.
So just to kind of add to what you're saying, Martin, like this is a cool topic. So one of the things that people go through when they're buying a home, buying a car, I've talked about this before, when they have to make a decision, no matter what the payment is, good, bad, ugly, they're taking ownership of something. They go through a mini heart attack, proven fact.
Yeah.
So Martin, what you're doing is you're having a conversation. You're just removing that fear that comes in. Like they have it, regardless. There's nothing you can do about it. And so know that when they're having to make a decision that's that large, home, car's a big one because it's insane. You don't go, you find a car, it's like, that's the car I want, boom. But then you go, whoa, got to think about it. Let's go home and talk about it. There's a lot of different things. So they say they go through a mini heart attack. So there's ways to overcome that stuff to get them through the mini heart attack if it's really what's best for them. And I think what Martin's saying, is it truly best for them? So there's 3 things you got to do when overcoming. What's the worst thing to do when trying to overcome an objection? Not agree with them, right? Like try to push them, try to sell them. So there's 3 things. One is acknowledge the objection. Acknowledge it. Hey, I totally hear you. Hey, rates are too high. Hey, I totally get it. Rates are a very important part of this equation. Acknowledge the equation, right? The second part is clarify. So when you say too high, are you coming into like, do you have another offer, or what do you hope? Like, what is your budget? Because is it really about the rate when they say the rates are too high, or is it about the payment? What if, are all programs equal? Oh, right. Are all payments equal on all loans? Like if you go, all right, here's the rate on all these different programs, they're all the same. No. So clarify, acknowledge, clarify, and then respond and redirect. So if you ask the question, you get out of them here. Well, because is it just about the rate, or is it the payment? So now you're having a conversation like Martin talks about. So acknowledge the objection, clarify. So besides the rate, what else is there? If all programs equal, where are you comfortable at with a payment? Because at the end of the day, it's about what you're going to write a check for. And it's not going to be my name on that check. It's not going to be Scott Outspeth. So it's not about me. It's about you. Like, where are you going to feel comfortable? Make sense? That's the framework. Acknowledge, clarify, and respond and redirect. So like how do you get objections? Like a lot of people are scared to make calls, but how do you learn what the objections are? And do the objections stay the same? Were we having rates are too high questions during COVID?
No.
Was that even a question? No.
I felt like the question was, should we even, is this
real?
The rate's going to go lower.
Yeah, I know. It's like, man, how can I hit the bottom? 2.50. Can I get 2.5? You know, because I'm at 2.65. What if I wait? That wasn't a question. So depending on the market.
It's real, Scott. Like, I think a lot of people really believe like if they don't end up at the lowest rate possible, or, you know, time the market just perfect, that fear of like, oh, I got higher than my neighbor, or my friends got a better deal than I did. You know, this lifelong comparison is a real thing for people,
killing people.
And it's super scary, but you know, people miss out on a lot of opportunities talking to their friends. And I always mention that. I'm like, talk to people that are actually doing it, you know, that are in the industry, regardless of who you trust, but know that your friends, your family it's not the same transaction. When you start comparing it, it's, you know, apples to oranges, and you want to make sure that you're looking at the same thing with the right people, and make sure that you trust them. And it's a scary thing what's in the market right now with a lot of people's trust.
And 1,000%, because like, who do you trust, right? Do you trust the news? Do you trust your friend? Do you trust what they got during COVID? Dude, 7%. I got 2.65. So then they're like, I want. Craig, let's talk about what's that?
The FOMO.
Yeah, Craig B. What's up, buddy? Craig Barton, how you doing, brother? All the way from California.
Good, man.
Are you in California?
No, I'm actually on in the Rhine in Switzerland and Germany right now.
Oh Jesus! Holy smokes! I was gonna say, man, you got an amazing view, dude. You got good internet too. So, hey, I don't remember the invite, so I'm just gonna put that out there real quick. But anyway. Craig,
went to your spam, Scotty.
Yeah, I went to my spam. Craig, tell us. I think you hit it hard. What's, you know, in between you and Martine, like, what is the goal, the end game? Like, where are you getting your information from? You want to talk to us a little bit about how you have your conversation, because that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. I think you just need to engage. We're all talking about having to have a conversation with them. Kind of defer things from looking at a rate to what their end game is.
Yeah.
Are they going to miss a deal because of an 1/8%? What is that on $1 million loan? It's not that much money.
No.
So talk about what their end game is and future forecast with them. What will happen with their property if they sell? Everything's kind of idle now.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But what happens when values start to move up again?
Gotcha. Yep. No, 100%. Thanks for joining us from the beautiful cruise ship there in Switzerland, brother. That's pretty. That's a new little cool thing we can say. Somebody from Switzerland joined us.
All right. Glad to be on.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you.
Well, the end game's important, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it goes back to asking great questions when you're doing the initial interview and
100%.
Understanding what their priorities are. Because if you understand the priorities, a lot of the times you can utilize that to get past the interest rate. It's, you know, well, the lowest rate in your situation may not make the most sense, and this is the reason why, right? You intend to be in the home for this amount of time, and let's talk about what the best solution for your particular situation is. And I think that's where, you know, getting down to choice selling becomes really important, because now you can say, hey, when you originally came in, you said you wanted the lowest rate. Let's talk about what that looks like. But this is what you said that you're really trying to achieve. Let's talk about how that's accomplished.
Yeah.
And now you give them the facts, and then you always give them your insight. You know, this is what I think works based on what you said. However, the choice is really yours. Which way makes more sense for you? And a lot of the times when the choice is one or the other, it's not, I'm not moving forward. It's which one of these two is going to make most sense for your particular situation. But if you're not doing a great interview up front,
yeah,
you're going to have a hard time having that conversation when you move down the pipeline. And I think that's why, you know, a lot of people have that question: do you take the application or do you not take the application? You know, me personally, I always felt like taking the application was important because there was a lot of bonding time that took place during that initial phone call.
Yeah.
And the fact finding of what it was that they were really trying to accomplish, so that when we come back to them with your solution, it's really well thought out. And it's not, hey, I know everybody's offering you this, here's what I can get you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It's, hey, I know what your goals were, and based upon what you told me that you're looking for, this is what I think is the best solution for you.
It's funny. I had this happened last night, believe it or not. This a client called me, and he's going through divorce, and he's like, I need to, like, it was crazy. So I just kept asking questions and questions. Like, he's like, I got to give her 50 grand. I'm like, okay. I said, what's your house worth? 270. I'm like, how do you know? He goes, Zillow. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how much do you owe? And he's like 220 or 204. I'm like, okay, I'm not like, what if we don't get 50 out of it? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. But then like, I'm just asking these questions, right? And then he goes, well, if she keeps the house, she gives me 20. And I go, wait a minute. You keep the house, you give her 50. She keeps the house, you get 20. I said, from my seat, I'd probably walk. That's a $70,000 swing, bro. I said, what am I missing here? Like, what am I missing? Like, I don't understand this conversation. Like, why do you love the house so much that you just want to dig and like keep it? Or he's like, I don't know. And here's where it gets like a little crazier. He goes, well, I don't have enough money for a down payment. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you're going to get 20 grand. He goes, well, I go, there's 3.5% down FHA loan. He goes, well, okay, so this is what our consumers are thinking. My credit score is too high for an FHA loan. That's what he said. He goes, I thought my credit score is too high for an FHA loan. And I'm like, no, bro. It's like there's no such thing. I said too low. Like when we get to too low, then yeah. Right, Martin?
Scott, that's what you say. No, but I got a special program for you. Don't worry about it. I'm the only one that can take care of it.
I'm gonna hook you up, bro.
I got that high credit score FHA loan for you.
Let me tell you what I'm known for.
Let me tell you what I'm known for.
I actually specialize in high credit score.
Dude, I'm serious. Seriously, he said that.
Let me tell you about the cheat code.
Cheat code. I got the back door. I got the back door to a lender that'll give me those deals. So we just assume that we know, we think what are like, we just assume our customers know what they're talking about, but they're getting information. I didn't even want to ask where he got that information. Cause I'm like, I don't, like you can't go down that road, but I'm like, no, bro, that's the least of our worries. I mean, I said, if it was me, it sounds like I'd take the 20. We'll find another, let's go find another house. He applied last night, gave us all the information.
That book, knowing exactly what to say, is pretty awesome on these things. That thing hits home for so many things that happen.
But is it what to say, or is the questions to ask to then know what to say to listen to the questions? Like when you, I'll have to listen to that book. Yeah, triggering
the answer that you're looking for. The path, I guess.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: is if we slow down a little bit, think about it. If we're in our emails, we're in our chats, we got a million things going on. We're listening to an audiobook. We just got off a conversation that was terrible. We just got an appraisal in that didn't come in, and then I get on a phone with this guy, and I'm like so tied up in all of my thoughts that I'm not asking the questions I might miss. It took me 5 minutes to get to where he's going to get 20 grand. So if I wouldn't have spent the time just asking, well, what if you don't get it? Like I was just having a friend conversation. I don't zero expectation of anything in return, whether I do this loan or not. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to drill you until I get out of you, because I know you're going through some emotional hard time, right? And here he is applying. He's going to he goes, my lawyer, wait, he literally hangs up. He goes, my lawyer's calling. I go, okay, cool. He calls me back. He goes, we're going to ask for 20 grand and call it good. I'm like, okay.
Boom.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, right. So
old school works. You know what? Some of the things you just got to go back to old school when we used to talk to them, meet them in person, actually really take a look at their finances, ask them serious questions. But there are some markets that it might be impossible to help people to actually buy a house in that market. And Miami is quickly becoming one of those markets, just like Manhattan.
Oh, it's been there, done that.
But an hour north.
Hour north, man.
An hour north, right? And last time I looked, a lot of people are not driving to work these days. And even if they are, an hour commute is not, Miami traffic, maybe.
Yeah. Right
maybe that's a 3-hour drive to work. I don't think that's going to work out so well. But.
Right on. Cool. All right. What are the questions you guys got about? So I think overcoming objections, we the big point I wanted to make here is if you don't ask enough questions, you might not be getting the proper objection.
Yeah.
You might be getting a knee-jerk reaction from a friend that told them, dude, rates are not 7, they're 6.5, 6, 5. I got 4.5. Well, those don't exist. So do people want a better, when people come to buy a car, they want to pay full price? Dude, I'm going to pay whatever's on that sticker. I'm going to pay that. Is that what they want? Is that what they say? No, man, they want a deal. They want to feel comfortable. They want an amazing experience. Kristen Jameson, who I work with, she doesn't. Who was it? Like, there's several conversations I've had where rate never comes up. A rate never comes up with me. He did ask me the rate question. I said, bro, it's just going to depend on where we end up. Like, how much, like, so when you're pulling cash out for a divorce, it's not a cash out. So it's just a rate in terms. So that's better. I said, the rate will be a little better for that. Depending on your score. My score is 730. And I'm like, I kept asking, Dick, but then it totally got off rate. It's like, dude, leave the house. Let's go buy a new one. Craig, what you got? Whoops, you're muted. You're muted, Craig. He's driving the boat now.
There you go. It's like some of the days when we sold cars.
Yeah.
You didn't talk about the payment. You talk about what color car you want.
Yeah.
You want red. What color interior? Do you want leather or do you want vinyl?
Amen, dude.
You know, what kind of rally wheels do you want? What kind
Spinners.
do you want, automatic or a stick? So you sell a dream of buying a house. Are you looking for a house with 2-car garage? Are you looking at a house with 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms? What are you looking for? So go back to what the goal is.
Yeah.
And bring that back into the picture. And that'll kind of help you out. So you're talking not about the price of the loan, what the payment is. You're talking more about what their dream is. Pull them back on the target.
Here's the best close. You guys ready for the best close? And Craig, 100%. Ready for the best close? So what do people go through when they're making a big decision?
Mini heart attack.
Mini heart attack. You have to remember this. How do you overcome people going through a mini heart attack when you're asking them to sign on the dotted line?
Make them
What
think of
color
something
car
else.
do you want?
Would you like something? Okay, you guys ready? Listen, if you're not listening, not paying attention, you're going to miss it. This is easy, and it works every single time to either pull more objections out of the equation or have them signing on the dotted line. Jennifer, you love the house? Absolutely. Is this your house you're going to, man, Christmas, like start painting picture Christmas time, family get-togethers, kids playing in the backyard, dog running around crazy. Hey, Jennifer, you want something hot or cold to drink while we wrap up the paperwork?
I love it.
Virtual? I'm gonna send you Dunkin'. You like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks?
Dunkin'.
Dunkin'. I'm gonna send you a gift card. I want you guys to go to Dunkin'. We can do it right there. It's all digital. Sit there. I'm gonna pull you up on Zoom or on your phone. I'll buy you whatever you want. Okay.
You could even do that with the closing. You know, hey, when we're high-fiving on funding day,
yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite fill in the blank?
Yeah.
I'm going to send that over to you.
Yeah.
Right. I like to do a pizza party at closing, you know, for the move-in day. What's your favorite type of pizza?
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, real quick, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. You mentioned Kristen Jameson.
Yeah.
And not that this is not a shameless plug for my podcast, but Kristen was on there last week. And she said something, and again, I can't remember, and I don't want to butcher it, about how to overcome the rate objection. So I don't care if you just listen to it and fast forward to wherever that is. But I do suggest that you listen to it because it was really good. She talks about how a lot of times it comes up in the very beginning of the interview. And she has a great statement that she throws out there just to derail them and then get it back on the topic of what they're really trying to accomplish. So if you have time and you want to go listen to it, I just dropped it in the chat. And that's me and Kristen, and she's talking about a lot of the things that she does to create, the experience that she has with her consumers. And last time we brought her on, I think we talked about her production. She's doing pretty good.
She's doing real good, just to say the least. But no, like so if you're in person, it's an amazing because then you can read the body language. Like it's there's no better close. You guys like when I was selling cars. Right in front of them, sitting across the desk. You guys want something hot or cold drink while I wrap up paperwork? They're not saying yes to the car. They are, but they aren't. They're skirting around it. So they're not saying yes to the house. They're saying yes to signing the paperwork for the house. And so
think about the funding day one, Scotty. Because you talk about the car, and sometimes that misses. But you go back, funding when we're high-fiving and celebrating on funding day, right? Yeah. Hey, what pizza do you want me to send to you? I always do a pizza party, and what you just did is you took them all the way to the end of the transaction. Right. Like you're foreshadowing that. They're seeing that in their mind. We're high-fiving and celebrating and popping the champagne.
Yeah, dude.
Right. On closing day. Hey, what is it that I should be sending over to your house for the celebration?
So fun.